Today is a special day for Zoyabra. We are going to go through a story that is not only a tale of the past, but also a compass for our modern life. It is the story of Milarepa, the greatest yogi of Tibet. But before we begin, I want to dedicate this video as a humble offering to my root teacher, Namkhai Nor. He taught me that spirituality is not theory, but a state of presence and awareness, here and now. Norbu always told us presence is the basis of practice. If you are not present, there is no meditation, and if you have presence, everything is the path. And Milarepa is the living proof that even if you have the heaviest karma, it can be purified if there is determination, discipline, and rinpa. I will tell you what that is about. Milarepa was born in the Kia Valley into a wealthy family, but tragedy struck early when he was 7 years old. His father passed away, and his uncles, driven by greed, claimed the properties and left Milarepa and his mother in absolute ruin. His mother, desperate and defenseless, sold the only thing they had left to send her son to study sorcery. She wanted justice, and at that time Bon magic was the weapon of the poor. Milarepa learned to control the forces of nature in a very short time. This Bon magic is like black magic, a very powerful dark magic. Milarepa had abilities since he was a child. They were already noticeable, and he learned to control the forces of nature in a very short time and at a young age. While his uncles were celebrating his cousin's wedding, Milarepa caused a landslide that killed 35 people, and only his uncles survived, so that they would witness their own ruin. But the relief from her revenge lasted only a moment, because when she returned to the village, her storms had caused disasters, ruined the crops, and that created a tremendous weight of karma. That dense vibration darkened her mind and her soul, and it became unbearable. It became her own prison of darkness. Desperate to cleanse her soul, to free herself from so much suffering, she sought a teacher, and that's how she found Marpa the translator. Marpa was a demanding teacher. He knew that words and prayers would not cleanse her. The murder of 35 people subjected Milarepa to brutal physical trials. And before giving her even once, Marpa ordered Milarepa to build a tower. And when it was almost finished, he would say, "Tear it down, it's not what I asked for." And he did this 3 times in a row. Milarepa was exhausted, destroyed, his mind was worn out, agonizing, and so he decided to look for another teacher. He sought the complicity of Marpa's wife, and she wrote a fake letter to another Lama, Lama Ngochdung. But after months of meditation, there was no progress. Ngokdung told him the truth. Is it in vain to expect spiritual growth without the approval and connection of your teacher? Milarepa then returned to Marpa, surrendered himself completely, and practiced diligently for 12 years. He achieved what few achieve, the state of Vajradhara, which is related to the Vajra, complete enlightenment in a single lifetime, while many require eons. He purified his karma with the fire of discipline. To understand how Milarepa achieved such transformation, we must understand what masters like Namkhai Norbu Chogyal, Namkhai Norbu, my dear root teacher, transmitted to us. Norbu explained it like this. The key teachings in Dzogchen, for example, revolve around the recognition of the nature of the mind, which they call Rigpa, which is the primordial consciousness, pure, empty, and luminous, present in everyone, which does not need to be created or modified, only recognized and observed. The importance of the view of practice and conduct is highlighted, emphasizing compassion and spontaneous action through different practices. In this tradition, for example, Yantra Yoga or the Vajra dance, which integrate body, speech, and mind, To manifest primordial wisdom in our daily lives without separating from the world, but living the great perfection that is this existence. But well, what does this mean in everyday language? Let's imagine that our mind is like the sky. Sometimes there are storms, black clouds of hatred, of fear, just like what happened to Milarepa, but the sky behind the clouds is always clear, blue, vast. That is Rigpa, the part of us that remains pure and never gets dirty, its true essence. Milarepa didn't create a new mind, he simply learned to remove the clouds to recognize the sky he already had. Norbu always taught us that you don't have to go live in a cave to be spiritual. The great perfection is learning to integrate everything we do. If you are cooking, be aware of the movement of your hands, the aromas, the colors, the textures, your magic while cooking. If you are talking to someone, be aware of your words, your tone, your intentions, and what you are conveying. If you are traveling or moving, be aware of your thoughts without judging them. Through tools like movement and breathing yoga or the Vajra dance, which is danced very mindfully on a giant mandala, we learn meditation isn't about sitting still, but is a spontaneous action. With such presence, may your very life become a dance of wisdom and compassion, not separating yourself from reality, but embracing it completely. Today in Songgang village at the Piensangling Monastery, they protect the cave where he lived, though I may be mispronouncing it. Milarepa is a place of power because he showed mastery over his own biology there. He ate only nettles and practiced Tamo, which is psychic heat. He showed that the conscious mind, RIGPA, can control body temperature and remove physical pain. The most important teachings that Milarepa left us were these: impermanence. Nothing lasts, not wealth, not hatred, not possessions, nothing, and karmic responsibility. Are we the architects of our own peace or our own hell? Is discipline a form of self-love? Milarepa didn't build towers for Marpa, he built them to tear down his own ego. And from the perspective of my beloved teacher Nankai Norbu, the lesson is clear. Presence is the most powerful tool that exists, being present here and now when you are present. Karmic imprints, traumas, fears, and negative tendencies have no space to flourish, they have no life, they have no nourishment. Milarepa didn't erase his past. He turned it into wisdom through ongoing awareness and living in the present. No well is so deep that you can't. He turned murder and black magic into pure light, so what can't you transform in your own life? Let's connect with presence and maintain it. Enlightenment is not a distant act, it's the clarity of your attention in this very moment, and staying in this state, getting used to this state. Milarepa wasn't looking for followers, he wanted each of us to recognize our own mind's nature. His life is a song to total liberation and a reminder that it's never too late to start again. My name is Dana Aguilar. If you'd like to explore the body, mind, and spirit connection further, join me on my other channel, Portal Coherencia. I'll leave a card here so you can check it out. And if you're passionate about stories that leave us with great lessons and motivation, if you're also passionate about seeing how our ancestors already mastered natural health techniques, I invite you to watch my previous video about Otzi, the ice warrior. There I tell you how this man, Otzi, was found in the ice, like a mummy from 5,000 years ago. He lived in 3,200 before Christ and carried first aid kits. And I want to tell you everything that science discovered about this finding, but above all, the story of Otzi, the wisdom he already had so many years ago, the wisdom of medicine. Here's a link for you to check out. If you enjoyed or were inspired by this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share it with someone who might need it. Remember that you can always start over. Let me know what you think. Did you know the story of Milarepa? I'll read your comments. Big hug. See you next time. Bye.